the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts draw us closer to your heart of love, O living God. Amen. Please be seated. Please indulge me as I edit, perhaps, or perhaps clarify St. John's statement in his gospel. He said the Spirit has not been given yet. The Spirit has not been given yet because Christ has not yet been glorified. That's a very misleading statement with all due respect to the fourth apostle. The Spirit has been around from the beginning. What Jesus is talking about is a special dimension of the Spirit, which is part of the developmental process of the life of the world itself. He's talking about is the latest version of the gift of the Spirit, which is imprinted with the character and life of Jesus Christ, who is made in the image of God. Fully human like us, subject to ache, pain, ups and downs, and death, but imprinted with the character of God. It's that dimension of the Spirit that's given at Pentecost. That's the dimension of the Spirit that's given at Jesus' baptism. But before that, the Spirit is, as the Nicene Creed says, the life giver. Think of the beginning of creation in the Bible, which is paralleled in many ways by our scientific understanding of the emergence of the universe in the Big Bang. The wind of God, the Spirit of God, is blowing across the deep, dark waters. And the word that's used about the Spirit blowing is that it's stirring up the waters, stippling the water, like what happens when a great bird comes in for a landing. The water is raised up, it's evoked. And the Spirit is blowing over this dark chaos to evoke life. And God says in the midst of it, let there be light, and the light is the light of the world. So that Spirit's been with us from the very beginning, and it's a Spirit that broods over the world, continues to brood over the world, and broods over the water of our own soul to bring forth new life. Just think of the amazing quality of creation. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, those three things. Everything here, the wood, your flesh, your brain, the oak trees, everything comes out of those three elements, and the incredible aliveness of the entire process that keeps producing new levels of development, new levels of specialization, just like a baby in the womb comes forth from the union of two cells. And then it just starts to grow and diversify. And coming out of the womb begins on a journey where the Spirit is ready to be at work to continue developing the life and soul and character of that child, because that child is made in the image and likeness of God. The founder of the Quakers put it in a slightly different metaphor. He said that every child born into the world has the seed of Christ within them. Now, I have to tell you honestly, the bishops of the Church of England, when he said that, were horrified, because they thought if there is that of God in every man, if the seed of Christ is in everyone, then, the lower orders might get uppity. It would be disruptive. But I want to claim George Fox's metaphor that each of us has the seed of Christ within us. So what we're about to do in our baptisms today is to invoke the Spirit to water that seed. To water that seed. Because what happens to this child is both an inner developmental process biologically, in which these children's brains are going to keep growing, their bodies are going to keep diversifying, but there are going to be stages, and stages where it's important to invoke the Spirit. It's important for those who surround these children to be living somehow as embodiments of the Spirit, that they may grow, that the seed may in fact develop into the likeness of Christ. So we're here to awaken and nourish the seed of Christ in these children. Our lives, our amazing lives of development. What's going to happen in a while, I know it's already happened to some of these children, is they're going to begin walking. Most of us have forgotten what it feels like to actually stand up on 2 feet when we've been crawling around. And yet the body continues to allow us to grow into confidence. But it's not just physical development. It's also social and moral development. And the Spirit is present at each stage of our development to help us and to help the children grow into that next stage. I remember very well one of my younger nephews' initiation into the world of community. His family's relatives were visiting, and his cousin Samantha had come. He was somewhere in the middle of his 3rd year. And in the middle of a joyous family reunion, he appeared in the room with a look of grief on his face and said, Mama, I want to talk. And my sister-in-law sat down on the floor and began talking to him. He was very upset because his cousin Samantha had taken his favorite toy. And this was his current security blanket, and it was gone. And he was very upset about it. My sister-in-law was raising her children rationally, without ever a slap on the butt, and my wife and I looked at this incident that was unfolding to see how Catherine would handle it. So she said, very rationally, Elias, your cousin Samantha's visiting. We're very happy that they're visiting. But what we do in this house is that when visitors come, we share with them. So we've shared a house with them. We shared singing with them. We shared food with them. And Samantha just wants to play with her toy while she's here. So what we do in this family is share. Now, Samantha is going to be leaving in 2 days, and the toy will be yours to play with completely. But while she's here, let her do it. Let her play with it. Let her enjoy it. Because she is going to appreciate the toy as much as you do. Now, I watched this face, the mask of grief, slowly dissolve. A kind of look of, like, what are you talking about? This was a whole world he didn't know about, the world of sharing. What are you talking about? And then it's as if the light dawned, and he thought, oh, I'm going to trust my mother. And he took a deep breath. He said, okay, and ran off into the dining room. 20 minutes later, Samantha was no longer interested in the toy. And so his mother proved right. And he entered into a world of sharing. And that's the sort of developmental stage that points us in the direction of growing up into the image of God, into the mutuality, the give and take, the kindness, the generosity, the compassion that brings forth the image of God in us. There's an inherent knowingness and becomingness in the cosmos itself. The cosmos itself, the material cosmos, as we know, is really solidified energy. but that energy is more deeply nested in the reality of the Spirit, the aliveness and the developmental quality of the Spirit that wants to evoke from us more and more of the image of God. The Spirit is always present, and as these children make their way in the world, it's our job as adults to help them learn to call on that Spirit, to rely on that Spirit as they take the next step. Because lots of things are going to happen. They're going to hit very soon, sooner than the parents may wish. They're going to hit adolescence. And their bodies are going to change. And hormones are going to flood their bodies that are very unfamiliar. And it's very important as they are initiated into that next level, which points them toward adulthood, toward reproduction, toward family life, toward a different kind of love. For both the family custom to be rooted in goodness and wholesomeness, but also for the heart to be pointed toward the kind of reciprocity that makes passion turn into participation, that makes participation turn into the give and take of love. So, as we come to this baptismal font, as we pour water, think of the waters of creation and the Spirit blowing over them. As we baptize these children, think of the Spirit that's present to work through people and to work in the depths of the heart of these children, to help them continue growing. And think of the destiny of all of us who stay on this path. That we can grow into the fullness, into the love, into the justice, into the compassion of Christ. And let all the people say, Amen.